United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors meeting for March 18th, 2025. If there's any changes to the agenda.
I have none.
I have none.
I have none.
You have none?
I have none.
Well, we shall meet with department heads and the elected officials. Oh, there it goes.
All right, good morning. I closed the election out yesterday, so the special is done and over with. Payroll, starting on payroll today, so I'll be doing that. A couple agenda items, but other than that, just business as usual.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Colin Harris, IT department.
Good morning. Had a good trip up to ISAC last week. Had some good sessions, so that was good. Let's get back in the office. Got a couple projects we're trying to finish up by the end of the week, but other than that, nothing new to report.
Okay, thank you. Sheriff Glendinning.
Good morning. We've got plenty going on as well. Really, no major news for the board this week. The jail is at 86 this morning. 14 of those are out of county. Kind of drifted up over the last week, and got 4 going out to prison today and 2 going to the halfway house here in the next couple of days. So we'll see what where the numbers take us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
First Lady Conservation.
We've got all sorts of fun stuff going on. So let's see, on Thursday, we will be kicking off it's called Hook and Hunt University. It's our hunting fishing mentor program. It's the partnership that we've developed with the Iowa DNR. We're kicking it off with a dinner down at the Drake. So if anybody is interested in mentoring a new hunter or angler, or would like to get into hunting and fishing and doesn't really know how, we can help you out with that. So dinner's free. There's an RSVP link on our website, so just go to that and let us know that you're coming. Also Thursday in the morning, I'll be going up to Des Moines. It's outdoor recreation day at the Capitol, so I'll be up there for that in the morning, and then I'll buzz back down here to catch that thing at the Drake Thursday night. And then April 3rd is the Partners for Conservation iHeart County Parks banquet out at Barn on the Ridge. If you haven't got your tickets for that yet, please do. That's going to be the annual fundraiser that the Partners for Conservation Foundation puts on to raise money for our department and all things conservation and outdoor recreation. And then our next race is a Donate Life run. We're partnering with the Donate Life organization, and it's a 5K and 10K out at Stars Cave, and then I think there's a 1 mile walk as well that you'll be part of, and funds will be split with the Donate Life organization. And so that's coming up in April. Details on that are on our website and our Facebook. So we have water leaks at Stars Cave and Big Hollow right now. We're trying to track down, something's leaking underground up at Big Hollow, so we're trying to track that down. And then I have no idea how to find the leak at Stars Cave. But Burlington Water Works tells us that we're burning through 10 to 20 gallons an hour. Our meter is up on Irish Ridge Road, and so the line comes from Irish Ridge Road all the way to the house, and then it splits from the house to the nature center. Shut it off at the house, so it's not in the building, and it's not between the house and the nature center. It's somewhere in that line that comes all the way down that road. I have no idea how to find it. So the plumber tells me that the city has this device that they can hook to a water line, and it uses some sort of, I don't know, sonic pulse or something. I don't know. He says it's like a $26,000 machine, and they might be able to identify where this leak is, but it's such a slow leak, and all those soils are so sandy because that's just creek deposits, that it's likely not to come to the surface. And the water line, I'm told, is buried 6 feet down in that ditch that runs along that road. So we're working on that too. So we'll figure that out. But the water is partially on at Big Hollow because it's so nice out. We have 3 campers up there already. Had a few over the weekend. And so we're going to be shutting it down zone by zone to try to figure out which zone we've got the leak in. Hopefully we will have that figured out this week and can have the water all on and ready to go by the weekend if anybody wants to camp. But among many other things. And then tomorrow, watch for the announcement of Burlington River Days event. We're gonna do the official announcement of what that event's gonna be down here on the riverfront in June, so details for that will be coming out tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yep.
Rodney, how's the maintenance?
We're doing okay, just lots of different things going on, had some weather over the weekend, but it melted away pretty quick, so got pretty lucky there, but other than that, business as usual, nothing new to report.
Okay, thank you. Garrett Last, Regional Planning.
Morning. Well, land use, we had a very busy last week, or last several weeks here. We got several subdivisions, minor subdivisions moving through the pipeline here. We got one on the agenda today. We also, I should mention, we had a zoning commission meeting last week. There was a requested for rezoning of property in the 2-mile area around Burlington, and it met with a lot of resistance from neighbors. It was a proposed change to commercial, where the other area around it was residential. So the commission did unanimously recommend denial of that request. We've been talking over the next steps on that. Because the commission technically is as an advisory capacity for the board, I think we need to have something on the record for final board action on that. So I will have a staff report ready for next week and plan to have it on the agenda. I just mentioned that to Sarah as well, so.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Janelle, how's Fraser? So we still got some money?
Oh, yeah, there's
Good.
lots of tax collections coming in. Motor vehicle, is equally as busy, if not busier. A lot of income tax refunds, so people are buying. I do have an agenda item, but we're busy.
Thank you. Shannon,
Hi.
emergency management, tell us about Wednesday.
Well, you know, I wish I could say that I'm gonna give you an accurate prediction, but as we saw last week, the weather can change. As Rodney said, we weren't really expecting much snow, and then of course we got a whole bunch of snow, so. What they're saying right now is that we're supposed to get potentially some thunderstorms tonight into tomorrow early. And then in our area, they're calling for maybe some snow, but it's mostly gonna be rain. In our area, there's like a 20% chance, I think, for about an inch or more. It looks like the majority of it is supposed to go more west of us, which it can stay over there. And I don't know, it's a weird weather time of year. And of course, we're currently still under a burn ban. We've had some high winds. We will continue to see those high winds throughout the week. So we will continue to still be under a burn ban. So that remains in effect. And then there's one other thing. Oh, and then I also have an agenda item.
I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, you set the alarms off, the sirens when
I
the
do
storm
not.
comes in. What's that?
I do not, but go ahead.
Who does that?
Descom?
Descom does it?
Yes.
Okay. Do they do it for every town?
They do not. So Danville sets off their own.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm?
Angie, that's the safety department.
Good morning, we're doing good, keeping busy. Just a reminder, and I wasn't sure if Shannon was gonna hit it, but we have a statewide tornado drill, next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, next Wednesday. And of course, if we are having a weather event, they will not have the drill. So if we're having weather and you hear the sirens go off, take cover, they're not just practicing. But we'd like to see everyone participate, make sure that we're prepared. Let's face it, last year was a crazy year, and so far it doesn't look like this year's gonna be any better. So we need to make sure we've got plans in place and we're prepared for something happening, so.
Gonna have the full fledged thing was a disaster, carrying somebody around.
No, we won't do that.
You won't do
But we
that.
would like everyone to, if they hear the alarms, go where they need to go and get that quickly, kind of get an idea and how long it takes to get to where we need, because you don't usually have a lot of notice, so.
Okay, thanks, Mandy. Krista, public health.
Good morning. We're also keeping busy. This Sunday, we're participating in the Day of the Child, which is out at Westland Mall from 10 to 2. So we'll have a booth set up there and have some educational information for parents and some fun stuff for the kids. So encourage people to stop out. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Brian, how's the road department?
Just fine. We were out dealing with a little bit of everything on the weekend. Thanks to the guys that came in. We were a little bit shorthanded, but then as soon as the sun came out, everything changed, and that helped the cause greatly. So I guess surprise. We'll see what tonight brings. I think they're talking about an inch, so maybe they'll be wrong the other way, which would be just fine. Other than that, a lot of things going on. Both bridges are slowly progressing, I would say. And the work, I believe, work on 34 is gonna start up right at the end of March. April, I think March 31st, which is really the Monday leading into April. And then I think work on 99 is gonna start up to possibly the week after that. So that stuff's coming along, and a couple DOT related closures coming up that, you know, is what it is, but the Mediapolis Road area there immediately west of Mediapolis where the interchange is, that segment's gonna start closure on March 31st, the same Monday I mentioned, and I would anticipate it being closed the whole summer. I don't, we do, part of the discussions with the DOT, I did get them to include a mandatory note in the plans that road has to open by September 15th. So we don't have a date. I'm sure that if they can, they'll open it sooner than that, but the contractor has to have it open by September 15th. So I would guess that road will be closed the majority of that time. So grading, paving through that area, all of that. So fortunately with the gypsum plant there, it's not perfect, but it does give a pretty quick paved run around right there. It's just not ideal for how many people use that. And then 260th, which is the gravel road that was closed last fall, up on the north end of the county. They're gonna close that one on March 31st also. And the contractor doesn't know when it'll open, but it's going to be quite a while. So that road's gonna go closed. Also, we will do some detour dust control that the DOT will reimburse us for. We did the same dust control last fall, and we will line that up. And that won't be full length stuff. That'll be houses and intersections and some stuff like that. So a lot of closures already going and coming up, and some of them are within our control and some are not. So, yeah, I'm sure I'm not thinking of something, but there's a lot of going on.
260th Street Avenue.
Street, sorry, 260th Street
You always
east,
do that.
east of the current Highway 61. So if you go up there, the new alignment in that location is of the 4-lane is all east of, right alongside, but east of the highway, of the old highway. And so they have to cut that whole hillside through there and reshape all of that, so. It'll be, yeah, so they're doing all that work this summer. They opened it up right around Christmas last year, cause we had a mild fall, and they got back in and started working. So it ended up staying closed almost to Christmas, and then they rocked it through so that it would be open through the winter time, and then it'll go back closed. So, we'll send a few letters out up there. We did last year also, so we'll use the same mailing list, just trying to get the word out, but it's kind of sparsely populated in that area, so we just try to let the locals know and let that kind of spread out. The Mediapolis Road closure, with the amount of people that impacts, we'll let the immediate landowners know, and they'll know already. And otherwise, we'll do press releases on everything that's closure related. So, just to try to let everybody know. And our crew is in between snow and wind and everything else, is putting in a large culvert. We took those, we finally loaded out 2 of the 3 large culverts that we took out of that drainage ditch in the bottoms. Louisa County purchased one. The one that's still down there, the Levy Drainage District purchased, they're gonna use somewhere. And then ours went up into the, I'd call it kind of down south of Morning Sun area, but in the north end of the county. And our guys are working to grade the side and get that installed this week, so.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Okay, moving on to correspondence, I haven't been here, either of you gentlemen have any correspondence?
I have.
And, shall move on to discussion votes. We have payable claims in the amount of $1,142,943.01.
Motion to approve. Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Now we have payroll reimbursement claims in the amount of $352.02 and 0 in non-cash taxable.
Motion to approve. Second.
Sarah?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Now we'll move on to approve the 2080 agreement with Lee County for portable temporary traffic.
You gotta see, just above that. Amended homestead credit.
Oh, I do, don't I cross that out?
Got in a hurry, got places to go.
Trying to get the shortest meeting.
Go for the record, James.
Good try, Jim.
Go for the record.
Yeah, we do. We have the amended homestead credits. And Honorable Board of Supervisors, a list of additional and corrected claims for 2023 homestead credits in accordance with Code of Iowa Chapter 425 is attached to this letter. The Board of Supervisors may allow or disallow the credits as recommended. I hereby request that the homestead tax credits be approved as amended. The amended homestead is an increase of $1,254.50.
Motion to approve amended home tax credit for homestead credit. Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. That's why we got Tom up there. Shane to keep me in line up there.
Good thing we got you.
Yeah. Now we got the 28 agreement with Lee County for the portable temporary traffic signal. Ryan Carter, do you wanna address this?
Yeah, I can. Lee County Engineer gave me a call. He's applying for a grant for traffic signals. These are basically portable traffic signals, and needed a partner entity to go along with them. I guess technically to share, and we've shared back and forth on a number of things over the years. In fact, we have an older set of these that they have borrowed before, and this will give us the option if we ever need it for a second set, which doesn't happen very often, but gives flexibility. Lee County's the one, if there's any money to be laid out, Lee County's gonna pay for them, because they'll use them mostly. So, I had no problem helping out a neighboring county, and, I didn't think you guys would either, so I would recommend approval, and I will get the original signed one down to Ben, and he'll run through his board and go on with his grant process.
Motion to approve the 2080. Second.
Sarah?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Thank you.
first addition to the Tucker Farm LLC subdivision.
This one is nice and simple. So this is a one-lot subdivision in Pleasant Grove Township, about 18 acres. Basically, it's, so this 40-acre section here has already been split previously through the original Tucker Farms subdivision a little over 10 years ago. And this split would take another, the western third of that area and to split that off for sale separately, basically following a creek that runs through the middle of the property. So very large acreage still. I believe the intention is to sell it to another landowner nearby. Presumably it would continue to be used for farmland, but it does have plenty of frontage along 2 county roads on 2 sides and existing access. So we've not received any significant comments on this one. And it's not within 2 miles of a city, so we would recommend approval.
Motion to approve. Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We will sign these after the meeting here. Is that okay?
Good, thank you.
We have a contract with regional planning for completion of the Moines County multiple jurisdiction hazardous vegetation plan. Anybody want to read this?
Don't wanna read it. I'll bet you can explain it, and I'll throw in my reasoning.
So, every 5 years, this plan has to be updated. This is a 400-plus page plan, that we have partnered with, regional planning with before to complete this plan. It's a plan that looks at the different hazards in the county, and basically rates them in the different areas around the county of reduction of loss of life, loss of property, and how we can work towards those goals. And so in order to be eligible for non-emergency management, disaster related grants, several of them, you have to have one of these plans that is viable in your county. So ours is due in September, so that's why.
It takes several months to do one of these. And you can wait for a federal grant. It's almost always late, and you don't know when you're gonna get it.
We've been
Don't know
waiting
when we're
for
gonna
it.
get it. But, we're gonna use this grant, that grant shortly to, replace some, we think, some, sirens in the county and in the communities. And, rather than wait and have it expire and hope for the, beneficence of this federal government, we decided we'd spend a little extra money and make sure we had it so that if, something happened, that we'd be covered. So I make a motion to approve that. I'll second it.
Sarah?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yep.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We will do these after the meeting too.
Thank you.
Somebody's gotta be out of here and get warmed up. Okay, personnel action. We have one from the auditor. It's resignation, Danielle McLaughlin. Effective date, 3/14/2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We have one from conservation is Brandon Rollins or Rollin Brandon, whichever it is. Reserve Conservation Tech, anniversary date, 24-month step increase. Previous rate was $45,864. New rate is $47,698.56.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sarah?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Then we have one from the Treasury Department for Christina Hay. It's unpaid time for 3/6/2025, 7.50 hours.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Now, we have the minutes for the regular meeting on March 11th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sarah?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Okay, now we have any other business?
I have none.
Okay. Future agenda item.
I have,
Have a meeting on that, go over that, you talked to that gentleman about
we will, it'll take a little while to get a response from the attorneys. Their lease is not here, so I can say something about attorneys. But anyway, so, but, yeah, we will, but I don't know how soon that'll be.
Okay. Committee report.
I have none.
I attended the Mental Health Agency of Southeast Iowa Governance Board meeting, and we're mostly getting ready to close that down because they've changed the mental health regions into districts, and it needs to be closed up by June 30th. And then they're gonna give them 6 months to file all the closing documents, so. And I attended ISAC and had some interesting meetings up there. They discussed the proposed property tax changes that are up for discussion now, but pretty much the same bill's been submitted to the Senate and the House. So I think they've got a framework, and the big thing is it will get rid of the rollback over a period of years. And you have to read it 2 or 3 times and think about it between each time to get a little better handle of what you think they're trying to do. And that's all I have.
ISAC was pretty good, I enjoyed it. And yeah, the House File 718, Tom Bruce broke it down, but yeah, they're changing that and tweaking it a little bit, so that should be interesting to see if they want to follow through with that 2% maximum increase on property and then tax to new property. That's what they're, new construction, that's what they're trying to change it to. That's all I've got.
I had a Rush Utility Service System meeting. Everything's going good there. We're still doing shut-offs in different communities if they're not paying their bills, so. And then you're putting it on their tax dollars. I guess that's what we have to do.
Jimmy, I skipped over future agenda items, but I wanna keep this in our thought process, is the old health department building, though, because I'm getting some phone calls on that, wondering where we are, and how soon we're gonna be able to make the move. Some people are getting antsy on it, so.
I can speak to that just a little bit. I have I've gotta give the surveyor a call back and turn them loose. We were waiting for some monuments to get set back because of the city's project and what it's removed. So I've been giving them a call back and tell them to go ahead and proceed as soon as they can to create that. That'll go through some type of process through the city also. I need to get a hold of Trent to make sure, that was actually the next thing I have to do, is get a hold of Trent before I cut the surveyor loose to make sure that everything we're doing with the surveyor is what he needs to be able to create a new legal description for what you guys wanna sell. So it has been slow, but there's progress behind the scenes, and I would expect now that I've got a little more time that we'll hopefully get that moving and get that on the agenda. So I'll give you more of an update when I know more, but that's where that's at right now. I do have a surveyor lined up to go, just need to make sure we're doing exactly what Trent needs to help you guys out. And on the meeting side of it, I wanna mention that there was a Highway 61 Coalition meeting last week. It conflicted with my first ISAC meeting, so I actually did, I wasn't able to attend the whole thing, but I actually called in and it was on the phone for that, and I think that's a good group to get going. Again, there's some conversations, I'd call them loose conversations right now, but just about the corridor through Burlington. And then of course there's a lot of activity to the north, so I attended that. Bob was there for that meeting, so just I'd let you guys know that since Bob's your representative on that.
Okay, thank you. Time for public input. Anybody from public has anything to say, they can call in at 319-753-8203, extension 4. That'd be 319-753-8203, extension 4. Or an email board@dmcounty.com. That'll be board@dmcounty.com. Meanwhile, anybody in the audience have anything to say?
I have a question about the old health department. So just for context, because I kind of think I understand, maybe you can give me a brief explanation. What is the issue with that property?
There really isn't an issue. The board has decided they wanna dispose of it, at least as of now. That's the direction we're going. They'll make that decision when they get closer to it. It has to be disposed through some type of an auction or sealed bid or something, to comply with the code. I guess the issue as far as why we're doing any sort of survey work relates to how things are being used as we speak. The parking area right down in/adjacent to the alley where I think right now 2 board members and the assessor park, and obviously parking in this area can be kind of tight, so the county's not looking to get rid of parking. However, even though nobody's ever known it, that parking area, at least in part, is on the description that goes with public health. The way that the public health description fits for those lots, I guess is what I'll call it. So we're gonna survey off the parking area, basically kind of up against that retaining wall that's along the alley. Split that out and also at the same time create a maintenance agreement or a maintenance easement for that wall, since that obviously is both important to the health building and also important to the parking/alley. And then that'll kind of get split out, and my understanding is it's basically an unbuildable outlot in the city's perspective. The surveyor has actually been more with the city than I have as far as that communication. So we'll basically create a little outlot, an unbuildable outlot. We'll hold on to that so that we don't lose parking. And then that will allow Trent to basically create an updated legal description for the public health building that then can be used moving forward in the process of selling.
So we're gonna keep the alley, they're gonna keep from the wall in.
Yes, essentially that's the layman's way of looking at it. Is that what you were after?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say? Still got a little time there.
I have another thing, sorry.
Great. That's just great.
This should be brief. How much is the, hazard mitigation plan gonna cost?
$25,000.
25,000, okay, thank you. That's it, thank you. Man, these are mean. Think of what you wouldn't know
You're the
if I didn't
best,
ask
Chase.
questions.
You're good, kid.
Think about what you wouldn't know if I didn't ask questions.
Credit to both newspapers, I've had a lot of calls and questions about the closures that are coming up, and a lot of people still read those papers, and I know everybody's on Facebook, but it makes a big difference when those articles are in there, so thank you for putting that in.
Didn't know we're being read.
You are, because I get the calls and that's what I'm looking for.
Well, we've been getting calls about the old health department building, what's going on with it, so.
Well, I heard Hawkeye's gonna get it, is that right?
I don't know, there's no one, we'd be running around there bowling and all, there's
Well, I thought
so,
that-
so few of us that,
I thought they was gonna give you an office over there.
oh, I like my own office, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Okay, the 2 minutes are up, with an eye, we're out of here.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Brian, so for that Belknap one, I think they got in touch with you about getting an entrance